Ambrose. I'm just kidding. What's going on, YouTube? It's Ordyh here bringing you a little video. I literally just got home. I went shopping. I finally found a sleeveless hoodie. Makes me happy because I've been wanting one of these for a while now. But that's what we're here to talk about. What we're talking about today is the Extreme Rules pay-per-view that happened last night. All in all, it was a decent pay-per-view, I guess. There was like, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be in certain aspects. But let's get going into it. The pre-show, I can't help but to laugh at it because it was like, it was the Wii LC match. It was El Torito versus Hornswoggle in like a gimmick TLC match, but since they're small, it was Wii. And it was actually really good. Despite it being them being two smaller guys who can't do the big spots off of tables, ladders, and chairs, it was actually really good because there was like mini tables, mini ladders, mini chairs, and they actually did like really big spots. Like there was a mini announce table with mini Michael Cole, mini Jerry Lawler, mini JBL announcing at a mini announce table. Hornswoggle put El Torito through that table. It was crazy. Like I said, and what made it awesome was like, Jesus, I can't remember the name, Los Matadores and 3MB, they kind of were in the match as well since it was like no qualifications. They kind of put themselves in the match to help them do bigger spots. Like El Torito did like this jump off the ladder, knocks Jinder Mahal and Diego and Fernando into like two tables and a ladder outside the ring. It was like really crazy spots all throughout the match. It was actually really good. Like it served its purpose. It was very entertaining. That's what it was all about. It wasn't funny. It was funny, but it was also like really good. So that's what made it, in my opinion, actually one of the better matches. Ironically, of all the matches in the world, that one was actually one of the better matches of the night. The first match though in the pay-per-view was a triple threat elimination match with Cesaro, Jack Swagger, and RVD. The pay-per-view starts off with Paul Heyman talking, so it's always a good thing. He went on, to introduce Cesaro like he always does. The match was pretty good. There was some pretty, nice spots, like Cesaro did like the over the rope superplex, and then RVD hits a 5-star Fox Splash immediately after on the Swagger to eliminate him. So that was pretty good. Then it was Cesaro and RVD one-on-one. They had a trash can involved, like a trash can got involved, because obviously if you don't know triple threat rules, there's no disqualification as well. So there was a trash can involved. He hit him with the neutralizer on the trash can to win, so Cesaro won the match. That's good because Cesaro obviously needs that push. I'd not say he doesn't need it, but like he's getting that push right now, and it's just moving forward still, so that's always a good thing. The next match was the 2-on-1 handicap match with Rusev and against R-Truth and Xavier Woods. That was a squash match. The best thing about it was Lana, because she is so freaking sexy. I don't care what anyone says. Lana is hot as hell. Before the match started, Rusev attacked Xavier Woods outside the ring, so he wasn't even in. It was actually just a one-on-one match, and Rusev won. He beat R-Truth with his, camel clutch, although it's not called a camel clutch. They call it, I forgot what he called it. I can't remember. But so he won. That was a pretty quick match, pretty squash match, whatever. Makes Rusev look strong against two guys, kind of like they like to build up the monster heels like that. The next match actually was one of my favorite matches. No, not really. That's a lie. Well, it was a good match though. Bad News Barrett versus Big E Langston for the Intercontinental Championship. Good match back and forth. I give Big E more credit than people probably aren't going to give him. That's actually one of the best matches he's put on in a while. He did this really nice move where he like dove over or through the ropes, kind of like you would see like Daniel Bryan do, or even Luke Harper do now, or a former Paul Heyman guy who's not on WWE anymore. He used to do that. But Big E did it, and it was pretty cool to see like a bigger guy do that. That's what I like about Big E. He's a big guy. He does power moves, but he's actually really quick on his feet. He kind of is, in a sense, Brock Lesnar-esque, kind of, in my opinion. Like I said, he's a big guy, but he can do like these speed, quick moves. Pretty awesome to see people like do that stuff. But Bad News Barrett ended up winning. They did like he did like a running bullhammer off the ropes because they were both bouncing off the ropes against each other, and he hit him with the bullhammer. Really sweet. So we have a new Intercontinental Champion, Bad News Barrett, which is awesome because Bad News Barrett is one of my favorite characters, one of my favorite people on the show right now. So I'm glad that he won. Next match was the best match of the night: The Shield versus Evolution. It was a 6-man tag match. It started off with a brawl. Like they all brawled before the bell even rang. They were all fighting each other, all doing these crazy spots, and the match got in the way. Evolution actually dominated most of that match for a while. Like they were beating up Dean Ambrose for a good 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Like you saw Dean Ambrose get beat up for about 10 minutes straight, but he was trying. Congrats to Dean Ambrose because he put on a hell of a match. throughout that, like a show, like a performance, I should say. Like he was so resilient. Like he was getting up, swinging at like crazy. The craziness that is Ambrose. He's, in my opinion, my favorite of the three. Dean Ambrose has always been one of my favorite wrestlers though for a while, like before he came to WWE. So big ups to him. Well, the crazy spots that happened. Okay, Roman Reigns and Batista were the legal men, but the other four guys were brawling outside. For those of you who didn't see the pay-per-view, they were brawling outside. Dean Ambrose ran over two announce tables and attacked them through the crowd. So then they ended up fighting. All the other four guys were fighting the crowd while Roman Reigns and Batista were in the ring. They didn't really show much of them, but they were going back and forth slowly because Batista, obviously, we all know he can't really put on a long match, so they're all brawling out there. One of the coolest things that happened of the night was Seth Rollins, actually. Again, even though I said Dean Ambrose put on the hell of a show, best performance, Rollins also put on a good performance, too. They kind of carried this whole match for the most part, in my opinion. Rollins had a crazy spot, like, off the rafters of, like, the crowd, like, above them. Like, okay, they were fighting, like I said, they're fighting the crowd. They went down a flight of stairs. Orton and Triple H are beating up on Ambrose, and all you see over the rafters is Rollins just leap like New Jack ECW style over everyone and just kills everyone pretty much. Like they're all just done for the rest of the match. The Shield ends up winning though. Like I said, Roman Reigns and Batista are the legal men. Roman Reigns, Superman punch, spear, over. It's kind of like a simple win. So the Shield won. They beat Evolution. I guess they don't have to adapt or perish. They just keep on, just keep on going. Believe in the Shield. Next match was Bray Wyatt versus John Cena in a steel cage match. That match wasn't. It was good, but it wasn't good. My opinion was the story wasn't written as it should have been written, as it's been talked about the whole time. We wanted to see, Bray Wyatt maybe connect more about this Cena turning into a monster thing. That's what everyone thought it was. That's why I thought it was going to happen. Like they were going to lock him in the cage so he can get Cena to turn into the monster and beat up on Bray Wyatt. I actually thought that was going to happen. My opinion before the thing was, I said to my friends on Facebook or Twitter, I said that John Cena needs to do two things. He needs to win and turn heel because he's going to beat the hell out of Bray Wyatt and turn into the monster while Bray Wyatt's laughing about it because that's what he wants him to do, like mission accomplished. Or John Cena's going to lose. John Cena did lose, but the match made John Cena look really strong, and I didn't like that. John Cena only lost because he kept getting stopped. Like he was beating up Bray Wyatt and like walking out the door almost, and then Luke Harper and Rowan stopped him. He tried to climb over, they stopped him. They actually ended up in the ring somehow because he pulled Luke Harper in the cage because Luke was climbing the cage, and then they were fighting on top of the cage, and they fell in. Same thing with Rowan. He kind of fell in too, and Cena still beats them all up and walks out the door. Next thing you know, the lights go off. One kid shows up in like the Omen voice, like the demonic, he's got the whole world in his hands. Like he did that, but it didn't sound like that. It sounded like more evil, not more happy-go-lucky like I just did, but whatever. He scared Cena, and of all the people, Cena is scared of a kid. He does a million Make-A-Wish. He does a million Makes-A-Wishes against kids, and he's scared of a kid. So John Cena lost because of a kid. So he gets scared of the kid. Bray Wyatt hits him with Sister Abigail, walks out the cage. She, hugs the kid, and they all walk holding hands together, the family. But, I mean, I'm happy that Bray Wyatt won, but I'm not happy with the match of the story of the match. Like, I wish it was better. It was poorly written, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. If you disagree with me, leave in the comments below what you thought should have happened, or do you agree with what happened in the actual match. Next match was Paige versus Tamina Snuka. That was actually a pretty good Divas match. It was pretty lengthy too. It was like 7. It says 6:18, but it was like 6-7 minutes long. It was a pretty good match for it being a Divas match. These Divas are actually starting to prove themselves more and more each week. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that Paige is here now because she's not a diva. She's a wrestler, and she puts on wrestling matches, and she does wrestling moves, not just slaps and stupid things. Like she actually makes these other girls work, and it was a really good match. There was one spot where off the apron, Paige was trying to do a Hurricanrana onto Tamina, but Tamina catches her and throws her to a barricade. Like, you don't see divas doing that, so it was actually really cool to see that. Tamina ends up losing to Paige because she tries to go for the super kick. Paige reverses it into the reverse scorpion crosslock, which is like probably, in my opinion, the best finisher right now on TV. That's like move is so sweet. So Paige won. Shout out to Paige. Big ups to Paige, my favorite diva right now. Even though I said Lana was the hottest one, or one of the hottest ones, but Paige actually, in my opinion, is the hottest one. But whatever. Last but not least, the main event is Daniel Bryan versus Kane. Extreme Rules match for the championship. It was good. It was a decent match. I love the ending, but I'm going to get to the middle of it. Like, it was kind of slow, in my opinion. Like, the pace of the match was pretty slow for it being a Daniel Bryan match, you know, because we all know Daniel Bryan's like that super fast-paced chain wrestling kind of guy. But it was a pretty slow match for it being Extreme Rules. You saw some crazy spots, you know. They try to bring back some old school kind of stuff, like try to throw him through a car. They used a forklift. Daniel Bryan flew off the forklift and headbutted Kane, which was a really cool thing. But it, like... And of course, there's like simple things like kendo sticks, chairs, tables, ladders. But like it could have been better in my opinion, I think. But what can you do? It's kind of thrown together last minute in my opinion. It seemed that way. So, and there was no good build up to it. It was kind of just, I felt like it was thrown together. But the match for itself, all in all, was good. It wasn't great, but it was good. The ending, the spot was great in my opinion. Kane set a table on fire, which you don't see in PG era anymore. And Kane tried to chokeslam Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan reverses it and pushes Kane to it, so Kane went through the flaming table. He immediately got sprayed, obviously, you know, with the fire extinguisher. So he gets sprayed, he rolls back into the ring, Daniel Bryan hits him with the knee, over. So he retains, of course. But all in all, I said the pay-per-view was really good. It wasn't great. It could have been better in certain aspects, like I said, the cage match and the heavyweight match. But all in all, I enjoyed it. I mean, I did enjoy the pay-per-view for what it's worth. Can't complain, you know. But I'm going to wrap this video up. I'm going to go finish doing what I'm doing. I'm going to leave the comments below what you thought of Extreme Rules. We'll comment. We'll talk to each other. I'm very interactive with people. As always, like, favorite, subscribe. I appreciate all that good love that you guys gave me. I actually appreciate the love that you guys gave me on my last video about my health and the smoothies and stuff. I got a lot of love from that. I got like over 100 views already, like within like a day, which I was like, whoa, that's shocking. So I do appreciate all that love and stuff. As always, follow me on Twitter at @ER_Ordyh. I tweet about wrestling. I tweet about Call of Duty. I tweet about life. I tweet about randomness. We'll converse on there. Or Instagram if you want to see all my silly pictures at @TheRealOrdyh. As always, if there's ever a problem either way, just hashtag erase them. And this special case, believe in the Shield. Have a good one.